Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Jayanti. If you would like to support my channel, then please like and subscribe to my channel. I would also request you to keep the notification bells on so that you can receive my latest videos. I would also like to thank all my new subscribers and people who like this video. If some of you have been watching the videos and are not subscribed to this channel, then I would request you to subscribe to the channel. It'll really help me a lot. And today I'll be doing a collective reading. This collective reading is about a best friend who's turned into a hater, turned into a foe, So that is the energy that we'll be channeling into. I would also like to tell you that this is a collective reading, so it may resonate and it may not resonate for some of you. So take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's begin with the reading regarding this best friend of yours, who was a friend but has turned into a foe, turned into an enemy, a hater, a foe. So let's see what we pick up on, Let's ask the angels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, and Uriel, please tell me. What is happening, Why has this friend turned into a foe, a hater? Let me know. Yeah, so straight away the energy that I get is of the Empress, So definitely you're someone who is with a lot of abundant energy. You could be a Libra or a Taurus, Sun, Moon, rising sign. Again, this is just an energy that you embody, so you don't have to really be of the zodiac sign of Libra or Taurus, but definitely someone who's very abundant. Your energy is very powerful. You literally have the energy of the Empress or the Emperor, because obviously this reading is for both genders, so definitely someone who is very abundant when it comes to their energy. Even if you're not that rich, money always comes to you effortlessly, so either you could be someone who's very abundant, if not you're on the way, right? So but definitely someone who carries a very abundant energy, and you have a lot of skills, you could be someone who's very artistic, whenever I look at this energy, anyone who's in the field of arts, or you could be a makeup artist, hairstylist, somebody who likes to paint or sketch or create something, you could be writers, you could be actors, you could be singers, you could be dancers, anything basically creative. That is what I see, some of you could be into illustrations, and basically you paint and you sketch. That is what I feel. Some of you could be in fashion designing, that is also something that comes under the Empress energy, so maybe you are very interested in high fashion, probably you design your own shoes or design your own clothes, or some of you create your own perfumes, that is what I see here. Also Empress, whenever I see the Empress, because it's such a nurturing card, I do feel like some of you could be good cooks, or probably you have your own show, in terms of food, a lot of people are food influencers also, and that is what I see here when I see a show, in the sense that probably you show people how you cook, that is what I feel here. So some of you could be also food bloggers or probably a chef. That is what I feel, because the Empress energy is a lot to do with nurturing also, so definitely something in the food industry I feel. So definitely, because I'm channeling a collective energy here, there could be a lot of competition, when it comes to you, and because your energy is like that, even friends of yours, turn into foes. That is what I feel. Yeah, some of you could be a Taurus, like I said, the Hierophant card is here. So Libra, Taurus energy is very strong here. You're definitely someone who's very guided by the divine. a lot of divine intervention is taking place in your life. That is what I feel. You're also someone who's very intuitive. Some of you could be a Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. That is what I feel. So a lot of Pisces energy, Taurus energy and Libra energy that I'm picking up on. So, but definitely someone who's very creative. You know, you can create many things when it comes to shoes, clothes, food, you know. Very good at cooking. That is what I see, you know. You have that gift, you know. You're very good in terms of creating stuff, you know. Your taste buds are very good, you know, like you understand the texture and the taste of food really well, I feel, you know. So you can create your own stuff, you know. That is what I see here. Yeah, I do feel like some of these people who envy you, especially this best friend, you know. Again, the zodiac signs I mentioned, this could literally be the zodiac sign of your friend too, you know, not just you. Probably they feel unlucky and stuck in life when it comes to their destiny. That is what I see here. Or maybe they wish that for you. Let me see what cards I get, you know, in terms of the way they are feeling, you know, about you. So I think, yeah, it's true, like the Ace of Swords card I got. So yeah, it's a lot to do with what you do as a creative individual. That is what I feel. Also, what I'm seeing here is that because of the abundant energy, you know, these people are attracted to that abundant energy, and after they start hanging out with you, they start, you know, envying that same energy, you know. They start hating that. So, and that is also because they lack something within themselves. It comes from a space of insecurity, not having those things within them, and that makes them do that, you know. So somewhere they feel like they're incomplete and insecure and as if they're lacking something in life, and from that space, you know, they find you very abundant and then they kind of despise you and hate you for that. So that is also probably a reason why all your best friends, you know, turn into enemies or start hating you or just change, you know. And you may be wondering, you know, why they were not like that in the beginning and why have they changed suddenly, you know. Because after spending a lot of time with you, somewhere they feel inferior to you, you know. When they understand your abundant energy, when they understand your energy, they start feeling very inferior and they develop a inferiority complex, you know, because they feel you have so many things going on, you have such an abundant energy and they have these things lacking within themselves, you know. So that is how they feel, you know. And yeah, they don't tell you about this because the moon card is there. So this is internally happening within them because moon talks about keeping secrets, you know. So definitely this is happening within them, you know. Some of them could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, or this could be your sign. But definitely someone who's keeping these things within themselves, you know. So it's hidden, yeah. And the High Priestess card is also there, so it's hidden, you know. So they keep their hatred, their jealousy hidden. That is what I feel. Because somewhere they feel like something is lacking within their life, you know. That is how they look at it, you know. They feel you're the lucky one, you know, and their destiny is not that great. That is how they look at themselves. Yeah. You're definitely someone who's going through a lot of personal transformation. That is what I feel at this point of time. You're also someone who attracts a lot of love, you know. So there are people who love you a lot. You're also someone who is in the energy of self-love, you know. So you really love yourself. And that shows, you know, in every interaction that you have with people around you in this world, with animals, plants, you know, everywhere you go, you know. So this is also one reason that this person despises you, you know. So they feel like a lot of people love you, are attracted to you, but are not attracted to them, you know. So that again stems from insecurity, you know. Yeah. This person is the kind of person who could backstab you. Yeah. So you should feel good, you know, because divine has intervened, you know. That is what I feel. So you've got to know about this person in time, you know, because they could have caused you harm in the future. That is what I feel. You're definitely someone who's very hardworking, you know. So they know that you're very hardworking and many people are attracted to you. Many people love you for the way you are. And I'm not just talking about outer appearance, but the kind of personality that you have. And Ten of Swords energy is telling me that this person was so envious that they could have backstabbed you. And it's good that things have ended. The spirit has intervened. God has intervened, and stepped in. There has been some form of divine intervention, because Hierophant card talks about that. Higher powers taking care of you. Yeah. So that you could get rid of these problems, because this person would have created a lot of problems in your life. And now that the card is reversed, it's telling me that Spirit is wanting you to let go of these burdens, and this person would have created a lot of burdens in your life, so this person has been removed from your life for a reason. And yeah, the Five of Wands energy. So definitely this person was competing with you, very competitive, comparing yourself to their, basically comparing you to themselves. Yeah, that is what I feel. And Five of Wands energy is there. So this is also telling me, in the future, if you would have continued being with this person, there could have been a scenario wherein, there could have literally been a physical fight. Yeah, that is what I feel. Like they could have attacked you physically. That is what I feel. That possibility was there. And that is why the divine removed you from this person, because this person could have physically attacked you. Yeah, the King of Wands energy is reversed. This person could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries energy. Definitely someone who's very impulsive. They don't have control over their anger. Yeah. And this is definitely someone, like I said, this is a double confirmation. They could physically attack you. Yeah. Definitely a narcissist. Yeah. So I feel, the thing is, whenever someone is very attractive and have a lot going on for them and is loved by many people, they naturally attract a lot of narcissists, because a narcissist, they like a lot of attention. So they'll choose a best friend, a partner, or a friend based on those qualities. So whenever you're very popular, you need to be very careful, when you're loved by many people, because it's very easy for you to attract narcissists, because that is what they love. They are all about attention, right? And when they see that so many people are admiring you, they want to be close to you, they want to be your best friend, or if it's a romantic relationship, they want to be your boyfriend, or in some cases they want to be your husband, right? So that is very common. So you need to be very careful, because you also attract wrong kind of people, who are only friends with you. They are only your boyfriend or your girlfriend or husband or wife because of the kind of attention that you get. So you have to be careful. And that is why this person was attracted to you. And now they don't like the fact that everyone loves you, adores you, admires you, looks up to you, and that very thing is causing jealousy within them. So that is what I see here. So this is not something that happened suddenly. It was always there. So they are attracted to your glow, your shine, the way you are as a human being. At the same time, they hate that. Yeah, because this person's intention was not okay from the beginning. They were just there because you were in the limelight. You were being loved by many people, liked by many people, and that is why they were there. They could see how many skills you have, how talented you are. So that is what I see here. Yeah, you are like just another option for them, That is what I see here. So they may have had options, but they chose you, See, they know that you're very strong. So the Strength card is there, This is a confirmation. They know that you're very strong. But Divine has removed you. It's better to walk away from this person. That is what I see here. Let's see what other cards we get. Yeah, it's good you walked away from this person, because there would have been a lot of stagnation in your life. You would have been stuck in your life if you continued interacting with this person. That is what I feel here. So it's good. And they would have got a lot of unhappiness into your life, a lot of bad luck, Yeah. Your mind would have become very pessimistic, I feel, if you continued being in this person's company. Spirit also removed you because somewhere you would have started having financial issues being in this person's company, So it's good. Like, now that this person is gone in your life, you won't have those issues, right? You'll come out of those issues. Maybe on a temporary basis, when you were with this person, you were facing some kind of financial issues, I feel, but you're coming out of that. And it was a lot to do with the kind of energy that this person had. Yeah, this person would also, like, during conversation, say things which would literally, affect your self-esteem, your confidence. You would create fears within you, anxiety within you, and they would do that on purpose, because that is what a narcissist does. They want you to have fear within you, anxiety within you, they want you to question yourself. So that is the kind of energy that this person had. Yeah, and the page of wands energy is there. So definitely a person who's very immature, but this is also someone who knew that everybody is so inspired by you, and they were trying to attack your confidence, your self-esteem, the way you look at yourself. They wanted you to question yourself, question your identity, so that you have more fear and anxiety within you, They said and did things which would create, fear within you, anxiety within you, Probably they would kind of downplay you, or criticize you, so that you feel a certain way about yourself. This is also someone who studies you a lot. Like, if you look at the expression of this girl, she's literally studying this person. So definitely, like, trying to understand you and study you. But this person is also aware that you inspire a lot of people, lot many people look up to you. You're definitely someone who has a lot of skill, and I feel you inspire a lot of people, you have a lot of passion within you. Let's see what other cards we get. Yeah, you embody the Queen of Cups energy, so you could be someone who's Taurus, sorry, not Taurus. Again, if I said Taurus, that is correct, because like I said, sometimes while I'm looking into the cards and I see a zodiac sign, that means that is also part of the channeling. So yeah, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, and then Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Yeah, so definitely you're someone who's very loving and kind, very nurturing, and that is why people like you a lot. You're also the kind of friend who literally stand up for other people. So given a choice, if someone attacks your friends or anybody who's close to you, your near and dear ones, you are the kind of person who would protect them. You would stand up for them, speak up for them. So that is the kind of friend you are, and that is why these people love you and adore you. They know that you have the strength, you have the courage to stand up for yourself and stand up for people that you love for. So if you are protective over someone, you'll definitely speak up for them. Yeah, you won't leave them alone. That's the kind of friend you are. And that is why people love you. Yeah. The Fool is reversed, so you're not the kind of a person who would hold back. That is what I feel. You're not the kind who would hold back. In fact, I feel you have the kind of personality wherein people can't confront you. They would kind of hold back. They wouldn't have the guts to approach you or say certain things on your face. That is why there's a lot of secrecy happening. They do things behind the scenes. They can't challenge you openly or come and say something to you on your face. They're always doing things behind the scenes, because I see the High Priestess and the Moon card. So a lot of secrecy happening, doing things behind the scenes, being sneaky, being sly, and when it comes to you, they can't say anything to you on your face. They kind of hold back, right? Because they don't have the guts, right? These are the kind of people who don't want to take risk, openly, because they have an image to maintain. Especially when you're doing wrong things, you have an image to maintain. When you're on the path of truth, you have nothing to hide. You have no image to maintain, because that your conscience is clear, you're honest, you're authentic, right? So these are the kind of people who can't even confront you openly. Yeah, and they know if ever they would try to say something to you, you definitely stand up for yourself and your friends. You're also the kind of person who makes everybody very happy. Yeah, so this is also why this person is so envious of you. I'll try to pull out some oracle card decks and see what messages I get. What is the problem of this individual? So let's see, this best friend. So these are the kind of qualities you have, and like I said, this person was causing you a lot of problems. I think after this person left your life, your life kind of upgraded and you started getting many offers, and your life has been better. This is also another sign, like if you ever go out with this person, don't drink from this person's hand. You can't trust this person. Yeah, if you can see, the coffee is there, so be careful. Like whatever you buy on your own. Don't have anything from someone else's hands, basically. Yeah, that is what I see, especially when it comes to this friend of yours. You can't trust this person, right? So don't have anything. Yeah, even if they offer you something, coffee, don't, because you don't know. These days people have this attitude that things can't happen to them, but the reality is anything can happen to anyone. It's always better to be careful. You don't know what's in that coffee. It could be something related to black magic, or some poison, you don't know, right? Or something that would literally cause you a heart attack, heart failure, you don't know. Yeah, or something that would affect your physical well-being. So it's always better not to trust these kind of individuals who are trying to give you something. Yeah, you being asked to move on. So moving on is the best thing. Yeah, you'll definitely attract better friends. Like I said, there is divine intervention from source. This person is very obsessed with you. They may have even been very obsessed with your lovers for some reason. Yeah, not just you, but your lovers too. So very toxic, unhealthy individual, very possessive, and this is definitely a karmic friend. That is what I see here. Karmic friend. Yeah, basically you are the queen rising, queen or king rising, basically, right? So you're someone who's stepping into power, and you're coming up in the spotlight, and this is what this person doesn't like about you. Your light shines, and your light irritates their demons. So this is a confirmation that I said, it's a lot to do with your inner light, and they can't stand that because this person is a narcissist. Let's see what other cards we get. Yeah, like whenever this person looked at you, they looked at you as the jackpot. They thought they could gain from you. So if they became friends with you, there were hidden ulterior motives. They looked at you as the jackpot. They thought all the limelight that is on you would come onto them too. They would gain a lot being in your company. That would also allow them to attract a lot of wealth. That is how they looked at you, as an opportunity. So this person was basically a social climber, basically. Yeah, that is what I feel. And this person also tried to drive away many suitors from your life. That is what I feel. So anytime someone was interested, they would like kind of try to brainwash you against that person. That is what I see here. Definitely a cloud chaser, a social climber. Yeah, opportunist, basically. Yeah, so he or she just wanted to be with you, so based on what you could provide them. That is what I see here. It could be money, it could be name, fame, limelight, anything. In some cases, this could be someone you got married to, someone you've had kids with. Yeah, that is what I feel here. Maybe a karmic ex, ex-boyfriend, or ex-husband, ex-wife, someone with whom you've had kids. That is what I see here. Yeah, this is also the kind of person who always steals your creativity, steals your ideas, copies your work, feeds off you. I think you're also being asked to clean up your space because this person's energy is really affecting you right now. So in case, if you want to get rid of any form of negative energy, you're being asked to do a lot of, cleaning up your place, your environment, keeping it clean. That way it won't allow the negative energies to come in. That is what you're being asked to do. Yeah, this is the kind of person who is willing to take any dirty offer to get ahead in life, That is the kind of person this is. Let me see what we get through some other oracle card decks. What messages we get about this person. I think whenever you were in the company of this person, you kind of felt very tired and drained. Yeah. And they would always create some kind of drama, and you always got tired of that drama, you know. That is what I feel. This person was also trying to keep you secret, so they wouldn't allow other people to know, you know, many things about you, you know. Yeah, that is what I feel. They wanted you to themselves, you know. That is what I see here. I think whenever you had a conversation with this person, they also tried to record stuff or keep some screenshots as proof, you know, which again reveals that this is not a good human being, you know, because friends don't do these kind of things, you know, so that they could blackmail you later on, you know. Yeah. And their game is over, you know, whatever they were trying to do, it's not going to work, you know, because people know how you are, you know. That is what I feel. This person also had a love and hate relationship with you. At times they hate you, and at times they thought that they hate nothing about you, you know. Yeah. Or this could literally be your energy. You're the kind of person who doesn't hate anyone, you know. You see the good in people, you know. Yeah. This person literally tried to destroy your life, I feel, at some point, you know, and made a lot of mistakes, and that is why Divine has removed this person from your life. Yeah, I think this is also someone who had a lot of anger issues. Yeah, anger management is there. So this best friend of yours had a lot of anger issues, you know, and they would start acting really weird, you know, like if you look at this person's face, you know. Yeah, so they have lost it, you know, literally looking like a madman, you know. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up on, you know, no control over anger. They could have some mental health issues. That is what I feel. Let's see. I'll just pull out the last card and moreover like end the reading here. Yeah. Let's see what energies we pick up on. What's the message for you from Spirit, you know. Now that we know what kind of a person this is, you know, let's see what Spirit has for you. Messages Spirit has for you. This friend of yours was also someone who's always partying a lot, you know. So they would like to be around a lot of people. That is what I feel. Yeah. So again, this person could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or a Pisces. That is what I feel. Yeah. Let's see what messages are there for you. What Spirit wants you to know. So I feel at this point of time, you know, Spirit doesn't want you to enter into any romantic relationship. Yeah. Door to romance is reverse, so they don't want you to get into any romantic relationship right now. They want you to wait it out. Yeah, the Garden and the Gate card is there, you know. So the advice for you is right now, do what you're meant to do in life. This is not the time for you to get into a relationship. Avoid, because again you could just get dragged into a new toxic cycle. Yeah. Don't make new friends or get into a new relationship right now. Maybe you're meant to do something, you know, focus on your career and other things. Yeah, use your brains, you know, use your mental energy. That is what I see here. So again, this doesn't mean that don't be loving, but this means that use your logic, you know, when it comes to choosing your friends or your romantic partner. So right now, energetically is not the right time for you to get into a relationship, I feel. Yeah, I think they want you to focus on money. Door to value is there. So definitely this is a time that you should be focusing on your money, on your work life, right? Just your career. So focus on making money, focus on your career. Don't focus on making new friends or a romantic relationship. Wait it out. I think energetically it's not the right time for you. That is what Spirit is saying. So moreover, I'm done with the reading. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you in my next reading. Thank you so much.